shareholders' equity. As we all know, shareholders' equity is on the right side of the accounting equation. Assets equals liabilities plus shareholders' equity. So it has a normal balance of credit balance and is defined as the residual interest of owners in the net assets of a corporation measured by the excess of assets over liabilities. So ito daw yung matitira sa mga may-ari ng company in case the company liquidates after paying the creditors. So ito yung net residual value of a company or an organization. The shareholders' equity have several elements. First, we have the share capital. Ito yung amount na pwedeng i-raise ng corporation para sa kanilang operations. So, ang nangyayari kasi, halimbawa ako, pagtayo ako ng negosyo, tapos kulang yung puhunan ko, pero ayaw ko namang mangutang. Ang pwede kong gawin is maghanap ako ng mga shareholders na tinatawag sa aking company. And yung shares ng company ko, hahatiin ko yon sa smaller values na yun yung kanilang pwedeng bilhin. Halimbawa, isang share worth 100 pesos. So, pwedeng bumili ang mga interested investors or shareholders ng mga shares amounting to 100 pesos per share. And nakadepende doon sa number of shares nila yung kanilang magiging share sa dividends or doon sa kita ng corporation. So, yung mga may-ari ng shares ng company are considered as co-owners. We also next have a subscribed share capital. Ito yung halimbawa nagsabi, ay, bibili ako ng 10 shares. So, ang tawag doon, subscribed share capital. Kapag binayaran na yon, paid up share capital. We also have ordinary and preference share capital. Share premium, ito yung sobra sa tinatawag na par value. So, halimbawa, yung corporation ko, ang isang share ay 100, tapos merong bumili ng 120 per share. So, yung 20 pesos, ang tawag doon ay share premium. Next, we have accumulated profits or losses. Ayan, ito yung naipong kita or losses ng company. Appropriation reserve, halimbawa, may plan yung company magpatayo ng building or mag-open ng another branch, so kailangan nilang mag-reserve ng fund or ng earnings para doon. So, ito yung tinatawag na appropriation reserve. Revaluation reserve, ito yung ginagamit kapag nagre-revalue tayo ng ating mga assets. And treasury share kapag yung company bumili ng sarili niyang shares. Okay, let's proceed to the important terms to remember. First, we have share capital, portion of the paid-in capital representing the total par or stated value of the shares issued. So, halimbawa, dun sa aking company, meron akong shares na ang value ng isang share ay 100, tapos nakabenta ako ng 1,000 shares, edi meron akong share capital na 100,000 pesos. Subscribed share capital, the portion of the authorized share capital that has been subscribed but not yet fully paid. So, halimbawa, meron ako binibentang 1,000 shares, tapos may nagsabi sa akin, ay, bibili ako ng 500 na shares. Sa akin na yan, para kalahati ako, 50% ng shares ng company pag ang mga may-ari ko. Hanggang hindi pa yun bayad, hindi pa yun considered na issued. Ang tawag pa lang doon ay subscribed share capital. Okay? Next, we have share premium. That is the portion of the paid-in capital representing excess over the par or stated value. Kapag nagbebenta kasi ng shares ang isang corporation, binibigyan niya ng value ang isang share. So kapag stated ng company ang tawag doon ay, or kapag specifically identified, ang tawag doon ay par value. Meron namang ang tawag is stated value, pero ang minimum nun ay 5 pesos. So kapag sobra sa stated value or sa par value yung selling price ng shares, ang sobra ay tinatawag na share premium. So ito din yung iba-ibang sources ng share premium. Next, we have retained earnings. So, cumulative balance of periodic earnings, dividends, distribution, prior period errors, and other capital adjustments. So, dito iniipon yung mga kita ng company. Dito binabawas kapag nag-i-issue ng dividend. Kapag merong mga kailangang i-adjust na amount from the previous accounting period. So, dito po yan ina-adjust sa account na retained earnings. Okay? Revaluation surplus, halimbawa, yung lupa natin, sa books natin, ang value niya ay 5 million. Pero nagkaroon ng bagong zonal value, 7 million na yung value niya. So, yung adjustment po doon, dito i-credit sa account na revaluation surplus. Okay, treasury shares, the corporation's own shares that have been issued and then reacquired but not canceled. So halimbawa, may bumili ng shares ko na 5 shares. Tapos, binili ko ulit. Ang tawag doon, treasury shares. Deposits on subscriptions to a proposed increase in share capital may be reported as part of the shareholders' equity as a separate line item in the shareholders' equity. So, halimbawa, merong subscribe siya sa akin ng 5 shares. So, di ba, worth yun, 500. Kung ang binayaran niya pa lang ay 100 pesos, so ang tawag doon ay deposits on subscriptions. Authorized share capital, ito yung capital na inalaw ng Securities and Exchange Commission as fixed in the Articles of Incorporation na pwedeng i-raise no company. So, hindi naman ako pwedeng magbenta ng 1 billion worth of shares kung hindi naman yun kailangan ng aking company. So, ina-approve din yun ng Securities and Exchange Commission and yun nga, nakasulat sa Articles of Incorporation. So, kung ang kailangan kong capital is 100,000, i-divide it rin sa mga shares. And ang evidence niya tinatawag na share certificate. Okay, so ano ba ang share? It represents the interest or right of a shareholder in the organization. So, kapag merong shares ang isang shareholder, meron siyang share sa earnings of a corporation. Ito yung tinatawag natin na dividends. Pwede din siya mag-vote kapag nag-e-elect ng mga directors or meron siyang bosses kapag nag-change ng policies sa isang company. So kung naririnig nyo na or napapanood nyo sa mga palabas, diba, merong mga majority shareholder, minority shareholder. So syempre, kapag madami yung shares mo, nandun ka sa majority, mas malaki or mas mabigat yung timbang ng bosses mo when it comes to company operations. Right of preemption. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, kapag nagbenta ng additional shares of stock ang company, sila yung una dapat na pagbentahan bago i-alok sa general public. And kapag shareholder ka, in the event of liquidation, pwede kang makihati sa net assets of the corporation. Okay, share capital. If there is only one class of share capital, it necessarily is ordinary shares. Meron kasing dalawang klase ng share capital, ordinary or preference. So, ordinary shareholders have the same rights and privileges. Kung halimbawa sinabi ng company, okay, mag-i-issue tayo ng 10% dividends based sa shares ng shareholders. So, same na tigte 10%. So, halimbawa, ang share sa dividend nung shareholder na may 500 shares is 500 times 100 times 10%. Yung may 100 shares, 100 times 100 par value times 10%. Yan, they have no fixed or specific return on investment. So, depende. Magkakashare lang sila sa dividend kapag merong kita yung company. Compared naman sa preference share capital, in the event of liquidation kapag nagsara yung company, sila ang unang kukomputan ng share sa net assets. Siyempre, after no creditors. And kapag preference share capital have only a limited or fixed return on investment. So halimbawa, specified na okay, meron ka annually ng 5% dividends based on your share, kumpara sa ordinary share capital na depende doon sa i-declare ng company. Ito, fixed talaga. Yan. So, example, a holder of 100 par value 12% preference share is entitled to an annual dividend if declared of 12% of 100 or 12 pesos per share yan. Okay, so titin natin, sa preference share capital, meron silang fixed return on investment, samantalang sa ordinary share capital, depende sa i-declare na company. Okay, another important term to remember is legal capital. It is the portion of the paid-in capital arising from issuance of share capital which cannot be returned to the shareholders in any form during the lifetime of the corporation. So, hindi daw to pwedeng ibalik sa shareholders. Kasi syempre, ni-raise nga yung capital para mag-operate yung company. So, kung ibabalik lang yon sa shareholders, edi maaapektuhan yung operations. Kaya ang mga company is protected din ng tinatawag na legal capital. Kahit mag-demand yung shareholders, hindi nila pwedeng ibalik basta-basta. Okay, ang legal capital nakadepende daw kapag may par value, kapag stated yung par value and no par value yung shares. Ang par value, ito yung na-assign natin na value sa isang share ng company. So kapag may par value ang share, ang legal capital is the aggregate par value of the shares issued and subscribed. Kapag walang par value, the total consideration received from shareholders, including the excess over the stated value. So kapag no par, pati share premium kasali sa legal capital. Pero kapag par value, yung amount lang ng par value. So the legal capital is based on what we call the trust fund doctrine. So the share capital of a corporation is considered as a trust fund for the protection of creditors. Kasi in the event of liquidation, unahan muna nating bayaran ang mga creditors bago ang mga may-ari ng company. It is illegal to return such capital to shareholders during the lifetime of the corporation. However, the corporation can pay dividends to shareholders but limited only to the retained earnings balance. Okay, so tandaan natin ito. Ang pwede lang ibigay ng corporation na dividend is up to the amount of the retained earnings. It is illegal to pay dividends if the entity has a deficit. Kasi ang dividends is i-share natin sa kita ng company. So kung wala namang kita, ba't ka pa mag-i-issue ng dividends? So paano ba ang accounting ng share capital? So we have two methods, the memorandum method and journal entry method. Kapag sinabing memorandum method, only a memorandum is made for the total authorized share capital. And when the share capital is issued, it is credited to the share capital account. Kapag journal entry method naman, the authorization to issue share is recorded by debiting unissued share capital and crediting authorized share capital. When share capital is issued, it is credited to the unissued share capital account. So, ang kaibahan nila, ang memorandum method, walang entry kapag na-identify yung total authorized share capital. Kapag nagbenta ka na lang, magkikredit ka na sa share capital. Sa journal entry method, kapag nalaman mo yung authorized, mag-debit ka ng unissued share capital and isasara mo yun. I-credit mo yun sa tuwing meron kang nabebenta. Okay, let's look at an illustration for the memorandum method. An entity was authorized to issue share capital of 4 million pesos divided into 40,000 shares. So based from this, malalaman natin na ang par value niya is 4 million divided by 40,000. Ang isang share is worth 100 pesos. They received subscription to 10,000 shares at par or at par value, collected 25% of the subscription, received a full payment for 6,000 shares originally subscribed, issued a certificate for 6,000 shares which are fully paid, and received a cash subscription for 5,000 shares at par. So, tingnan natin yung accounting for those transactions under the memorandum method. So, for the authorization of the share capital sa memorandum method, memo entry lang. The entity was authorized to issue share capital of 4 million divided into 40,000 shares with par value of 100. Received a subscription to 10,000 shares at par. May nagsabi, ay, bibili ako ng 10,000 shares. So, mag-e-entry na yung company na debit subscription receivable, 1 million. That's 10,000 times 100. And credit subscribed share capital for the same amount. Collected 25% of the above subscription. So, 10,000 shares yon times 25%. Times the par value of 100. So we have debit cash of 250,000 and credit subscription receivable na 250,000 pesos. Received full payment for 6,000 shares originally subscribed. So, di ba yung 6,000 meron nang nabayarang 25%? So, ang matitira na lang na collectible nila ay 450,000 pesos. So, ito yon yung subscription price, 6,000 shares times 100, 600,000 dapat yung babayaran and meron ng naunang partial payment na 150,000. Kaya ang i-credit na lang natin ngayon, 450,000 pesos. Next, issued the certificate for 6,000 shares which are fully paid. So, ide-debit na natin yung subscribed share capital and magki-credit na tayo ng share capital. So, kapag nag-subscribe, magde-debit ka ng subscription receivable, credit subscribe capital, and kapag nagpabayad, sasara mo na yung receivable. And kapag bayad na lahat yung shares, fully paid na, i-debit mo na yung subscribed share capital and i-credit mo na sa share capital. And the company received a cash subscription for 5,000 shares at par. So in this case, cash subscription, nagbayad na agad, hindi na siya nag-subscribe pa. So kapag ganon, debit ka na agad ng cash for 5,000 shares times 100, that's 500,000, and credit na agad no share capital. So cash subscription is directly credited to the share capital account. It is not necessary to set up a subscription receivable account kasi bayad na nga agad. Statement presentation. So kung gagawa tayo ng statement of financial position, ito yung magiging equity portion. So, importante sa equity portion, nakalagay dyan kung, ayan, share capital, nakalagay yung par value, ilan ba yung pwedeng ibentang shares ng company, and ilan na yung na-issue. So, we have 1,100,000, subscribed share capital, 4,000 shares, and subscription receivable na 300,000. So, kapag nilagay mo sa T account yung mga transactions, ito yung kakalabasan nila. And similar case, but let's now use the journal entry method. So, sa journal entry method, kapag na-authorize ka mag-issue ng share capital, magde-debit ka ng unissued share capital and magke-credit ka ng authorized share capital. And yan, kapag nakatanggap ka na ng subscription receivable, and credit subscribed share capital. Collection of 25%, ayan, debit cash and credit subscription receivable. Kapag nag-full payment, cash Debit cash, credit, subscription, receivable. The issuance, debit subscribed share capital, and ang i-credit natin dito is unissued share capital. So, ang kaibahan sa journal entry method, unissued share capital yung kini-credit upon full payment. Samantalang sa memorandum entry method, share capital lang po. So, yun ang difference nila. Received a cash subscription for 5,000 shares. So, debit cash, credit, and issued share capital. For the statement presentation, ganito po ang kalalabasan niya. Ayan. Authorized capital, 100 par, 40,000 shares. Okay, meron tayong unissued. Yung difference niyan yung issued. Nakalagay din yung subscribed share capital and the subscription receivable. So, ito kapag nilagay mo sa T account yung ating mga, or sa ledger yung ating mga journal entries. Ito yung kalalabasan ng amounts nila. Mapapansin natin, whether journal entry method or memorandum entry method, parehas lang po ang balance ng ating shareholders' equity. Okay, here are some guidelines regarding the issuance of share capital. A share shall not be issued for a consideration less than the par or stated value. The no par share must have a stated value of at least 5 pesos. So kapag hindi nilagay sa articles of incorporation yung par value ng shares ng company, ang gagamitin po automatically ay 5 pesos. When shares with par value are sold, the proceeds shall be credited to the share capital account to the extent of the par value. Yung sobra doon, i-credit po sa account na share premium. Okay, tingnan natin ang example kapag may share premium. If 10,000 shares of 100 par value are sold at 150 per share, the journal entry is debit cash, that's 10,000 times 150. 1.5 million. Credit ordinary share capital. Ayan, ang i-credit natin dito is up to the par value lang. So, 10,000 shares times 100, the par value, that's 1 million. Yung sobra, credited sa share premium. So, pwede siyang yung 50 times 10,000 shares. So, paano naman kapag walang par value? Okay, when shares without par value are sold, the proceeds shall be credited to the share capital account to the extent of the stated value, which is 5 pesos. Any excess being reflected as share premium. Okay, example natin, if 20,000 ordinary shares of 50 pesos stated value are issued at 80 pesos per share, the journal entry is, so baka ma-confuse kayo, ma'am sabi mo 5 pesos yung stated value. May mga cases din na nag-a-assign yung company ng stated value. Hindi par value yung tawag nila, kundi stated value. Kasi binabago nila yon taon-taon. Kapag par value kasi, hindi nila yon pwedeng baguhin na. Unless magbabago sila ng articles. So in this case, the stated value is 50 pesos and sold for 80 pesos. So ang journal entry natin, syempre debit cash, that's 20,000 times 80. Credit to ordinary share capital na 1 million, that's 20,000 times 50. And yung sobra is 600,000 pesos credited sa share premium. It can also be computed as 30 pesos, 80 minus 50. And yan, tapos i-multiply natin sa 20,000 ordinary shares. Additional guidelines for the issuance of share capital. Shares sold or issued at a price below par or stated value are said to be issued at a discount. However, the revised corporation code prohibits the issue of share at a discount. In case nangyari yon, the discount is not considered a loss, but the shareholder is held liable therefore. So, babayaran nila yung kakulangan sa kanilang binayaran. So, in that case, the issuance of share is not cancelled. Ibibigay pa din naman yung shares ng shareholder, pero the shareholder must pay for the discount. This is called the discount liability of the shareholder. Okay, for an example, if 10,000 shares of 100 par value are sold for 800,000 cash, so 'di ba, dapat sana minimum na babayaran ay 10,000 times 100 or 1 million, pero ang binayaran lang 800,000. Ang magiging entry natin is debit cash of 800,000, debit discount on share capital na 200,000, and credit 1 million. So the discount on share capital is a deduction from shareholders' equity. And take note, yung prohibition daw to issue shares at a discount refers only to the original issue. Pero kapag na-transfer na yon, halimbawa yung another shareholder binenta sa ibang shareholder, pwede niya na yung ibenta ng mas mura. There are instances na yung share capital or shares of stock ng isang company, binabayaran not through cash, but through non-cash consideration such as tangible property, intangible property, and services. So kapag ganun daw, ito yung magiging priority ng pag-measure o paglagay ng value sa ating share capital. First, the fair value of the non-cash consideration received. Kapag hindi yun available, ang gagamitin natin is fair value of the shares issued. Kapag hindi pa rin available, saka na gagamitin yung par value of the shares issued. So, importante din na natatandaan natin itong order of priority when it comes to valuation of share capital. Okay, here's a case. An entity issued 10,000 ordinary shares of 100 par value in exchange for land with a fair value of 1.5 million. The fair value of the shares issued is 180 per share or a total of 1.8 million. So first priority natin, fair value of the non-cash consideration. So first, mag-debit tayo ng land, 1.5 million. Ordinary share capital up to the par value pa din. So 10,000 times 100, that's 1 million. And yung sobra, i-credit natin sa share premium. So in case hindi available yung fair value of the non-cash consideration, pupunta tayo sa next in priority. And that's the par value of the share, ay the fair value of the shares issued. So ito gagawin lang to kapag hindi available yung fair value no non-cash consideration. So fair value ng land 1.8 million, share capital out based pa din to sa par value and yung sobra sa share premium. Kapag hindi available yung fair value noong non-cash consideration and the fair value of the shares, saka natin siya i-entry sa or i-measure through the par value. So, debit land, credit share capital based sa par value ng shares, 10,000 times 100. Okay, paano naman kung yung shares pinangbayad sa services? So, pwede daw yon as long as the services are already rendered and the share shall be recorded at the fair value of such services or fair value of the shares issued, whichever is reliably determinable. Okay, example. An entity issued 1,000 ordinary shares of 100 par value to lawyers for their legal services in getting the corporation organized. The fair value of such services is reliably determined to be 120,000 pesos. So, di ba, first priority daw yung fair value, no? Services. So, in this case, alam naman natin. So, legal expense, 120,000. Credit ordinary share capital, that's computed as 1,000 ordinary shares times 100 pesos, the par value. And yung sobra na 20,000 will be credited at share premium. Share premium. Okay, so that's all for the shareholders' equity.